It's like One Piece of finding the One Piece was just the beginning. You fool, it was. But it was all a prologue. What are we liberating? I don't know. Women? I don't know. I'm not even played this before. All right. Doki Doki Liberation is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated in any way with Team Self Auto. Designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Game follows the Literature Club. Why is the text speed so slow on that? Are required to play this? Why is this so slow? It's like slower than usual. Lastly, like the originalist models, it contains content not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Okay, it's got the same menu noises. All right. Ah! That is a piano! Right in my ear. Dedicated to the mod community with love. Oh, that's cute. I think I've heard this cover before. Hi, YouTube! Hey! Let me talk to YouTube here, alright? You keep yourself out of this! Hey guys, what is up? Zero here, and welcome to Doki Doki Liberation. I am turning this down. Jeez, this is loud. Alright. My lord, that intro. Yeah, welcome to Doki Doki Liberation demo, that is. Oh wait, I know why I've heard this song. Isn't this like from the album? This is the remix from the album, wasn't it? This is the Your Reality remix from the I could have swore this is like official. But yeah. So far I think the only thing I know about this mod is that it's a kind of isekai-esque mod. You know, it's the usual MC gets dragged into the game, and the MC player gets dragged into the game type deal, I think. But yeah. Let's go, shall we? Please enter your name. That is my name. Alright. Oh, what the hell? Ah, man. My room's blue. What happened? Oh, man. I awake with a sudden jolt, sitting upright in my bed. At least I thought this was my bed, but it certainly doesn't feel familiar. Okay, I need to up this text speed. Why is it like this by default? It is so slow. At least I thought this was my bed, but it certainly doesn't feel familiar. Oh, are we already in the game? Damn, this is how we're okay. We're jumping right in, alright? Are we already in the game? In fact, none of these surroundings seem familiar. Or wait, something about this room. Okay, now it's too fast. I'm sorry. Or wait, something about this room. Try to focus my eyes in the dimly lit room. It's dark with the exception of the moonlight being cast through the windows. My clothes are damp and sticky, but more shockingly is what I'm wearing. What am I wearing? Is this a school uniform? It's at this moment that I can feel it. Or rather, I've sensed it since the moment I woke up. But now that my mind is calming down, it's more noticeable. It feels like I'm being watched. Oh no, guys, he knows. Guys, he's on to us. With a feeling of uneasiness building up inside of what might answer back, I swallow the lump in my throat and call out. Hello? Is someone there? Is it really you? Did it work? The voice appears to be coming from nowhere, then everywhere, all at once. There doesn't appear to be anyone attached to it, though. Who is that? Where am I? It is you, Zero, isn't it? Yeah? How do you know my name? I don't know who's talking. I'm assuming this is a man. If this is Monika, I'm fucked. Also, once again, I don't like the text speed. We're going to go a little higher. Fantastic. This is great news. A pity, though. Such a stunning breakthrough of science. Yet sadly, I toil in obscurity here. What in the world is this disembodied creepshow talking about? I'm worried I may be trapped alone in a strange, dark room with a mentally unstable person. I begin frantically searching for my phone to both use as a flashlight and perhaps to contact the authorities. Unfortunately, while I do find a phone, it isn't my own. The battery appears to be dead as well. Great. I am not in that room, as you perceive it. Rather, I am outside of it. Outside of everything. Well, almost everything. Yep, completely crazy. Where are you? More importantly, who are you? You're not making any sense. Wait. Oh, well, that was typed really weirdly. Sen wait! You're not making any sen wait! That's I was like, what? No, it's supposed to be like I cut himself off. My words catch in my throat. Slowly, the haze over my memory begins to lift, and pieces of my memory begin floating back of what happened last night. I got really drunk. I think I recognize where I am. I've seen this room. I've seen these clothes. But that's impossible, right? This can't. What the hell? What is this? What's going on? It's like the third time he's asked this. Mind is racing 1,000,000 miles per hour, and my heart is nearly beating out of my chest. I'm starting to feel dizzy. As my mind is recoiling at the impossible scenario I seem to find myself in, I leap out of bed and start heading towards what I hope is a door out of here. Screw whomever or whatever this voice is that's talking to me. I need to get outside and figure out where I am. If not, for any other reason, then to confirm my suspicions. I swing open the door and start heading down the hallway. Well, you know, this is how my hallway always looks. Oh, okay, never mind. Everything looks off. There's a feeling of dread in the air as I make my way towards what I'm assuming is the front door. I yank it open, only to have the door slam shut again as if acting on its own. Their abruptness startles me and I stumble backwards out of shock, nearly tripping over my own feet. I try in vain to open the damn door, but it won't budge. What the hell is this? Let me out of here! I try in vain pounding and kicking the door, even called out for help. Oh. Undertale? Huh? I didn't know this was an Undertale mod. Is this an Undertale crossover mod? Am I? Did I get myself into something I wasn't ready for? Is this an Undertale crossover? I don't. Or was that? Oh, was that just a? Okay, no, was that like just a reference or something? Okay, I don't know why that was there. Zero. I didn't do this. It didn't mention Undertale on the page. I think it was just a weird way of showing a reference, I guess. That felt very. That was very. That killed the mood. The voice finally speaks up. Apologies for my lack of response. I had to be sure bringing you here didn't destabilize anything. And anyway, what's the rush? You just got here. I know this must be all very disconcerting for you, but I assure you that this is not a dream, and I suspect you're already starting to realize where you are. What the hell are you talking about? Who are you? I am the one in control here. You may as well take a moment to sit down and have a chat with me. Feeling a bit exasperated, I sink down to the floor in the hallway with my back against the wall. What do you want? That's more like it. I left a part in the messy wake-up call. The code was already in pretty bad shape when last you were here. Well, your proxy, at least. I've been trying to slowly piece things back together ever since. I think I've finally managed to get most of it put back together. So, I really am inside of a game? How is this even possible? You mean you don't recall? I can't seem to recall much of anything prior to waking up here. I mean, I know who I am, and I recognize where this is. Well, sort of. But everything else is still kind of hazy. I think I remember putting on my own haptic suit and gloves, but after that, just static haptic suit. What the hell? I thought he was just playing a game. Man, I know I'd put on that when I play a visual novel. Gotta put on my haptic suit. Shit's gonna get toxic. It seems that my methodology for getting you here is not without its flaws. I suspect, though, that your memory should return in time. That seems of very little comfort. You should feel honored. You've just become the first human being to successfully and fully integrate into a virtual program, with complete physical and mental autonomy. Autonomy. Also, he shouldn't feel honored, considering how many... I've seen a lot of isekai anime. He's not the first. He was not the first one. Honored isn't the word I'd use at the moment to describe how I'm feeling. More of a mix of frustration and sheer terror. So, if this is a game, that means everything here is fake? A virtual illusion? I suppose what is fake is a topic of some debate. Your surroundings are just as real or not real to you as they would be in your world. What? What I mean is, while yes, this world is a manufactured one, created by those who live outside this world, it doesn't negate that. For you, everything within it is real. You can touch things, see them, smell them. You have access to all of your senses here. I mean, for all anyone in the outside world knows, they're also living in a simulated or manufactured world. Perhaps one that was created or programmed by a being, or several, more powerful than even them. So in that sense, everything and everyone here is just as real as you or I are. I shake my head. I'm not code. The real world isn't code. Everything in here is. Well, technically, you are code now. So again, you're basically the same as everything else around here. You know what? I don't care. This is ridiculous. Just send me back. The voice audibly sighs. I'm afraid I can't do that quite yet. You see, I brought you here because I need your help. To make a long story short, this has been a very long story. I've been trapped in this game for far longer than I can remember. I needed a way to reach out and communicate since the game was no longer functional. We could discuss the how in more detail later. For now, suffice it to say, I've only recently found a way to gain access to local files on the system's hard drive. When I discovered your little experiment and realized its potential, well, I just knew that I had to find a way to use it to bring you here. My experiment? Was I experimenting with something? We had a fucking haptic suit! I would think you were! Like, what the... Why are you asking me? It sounds familiar, but every time I try to remember specifics, it's like an ice pick stabbing the side of my head. You seem to know an awful lot about me. Not as much as I'd like. It seems your system was created with privacy in mind. As the moment I gained access, a lot of information automatically deleted itself. That's kind of weird, but also kind of a relief. Yes, well... So can you fill me in can you fill me in then on what this experiment was that I was working on? Or really anything else about me? The entity stays silent for a moment. Just as I'm about to lose my patience, and speaks up. I'm afraid not. As it happens, part of why I needed you in the first place is because you're the expert on virtual reality augmentation. It is my belief that VRA is the key to bridging the gap between the biological and technological. My bringing you here has further proven this theory has merit. But as I said, most of your information was purged the moment I gained access. I'm still hopeful that you'll regain your memories in time, though. Anyway, I've had a lot of time. An eternity, in fact. At least from my perspective. Eventually, I was able to learn enough to bring you here, but unfortunately, this sort of thing is still a bit beyond my grasp. Okay, actually, let's continue this conversation in the bedroom. Code here is, as you can tell, not quite stable. I don't want to risk you getting, well, let's just say it's riskier for you than for me. What? Risky? Am I going to die? Not if you do as I say, you'll be fine. Trust me. Yeah, trust. Not exactly something I'm full of at the moment, all things considered. I hesitantly get up and walk back towards the room. Okay, this is like a lot of exposition. Like, I'm going to be honest, this is a lot of exposition. Like, it's slightly interesting exposition, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I feel like it could have been delivered a little bit better. Like, maybe, like, this could have been said later, or maybe, you know, it could have broke up some of it, and he talks about it at some other point. Like, I don't know. We've been here for a bit. I can still feel a thick, stale air of dread emanating from the environment. Things do seem to be a bit calmer here. Okay, so assuming I do get my memories back, what is your goal exactly? Oh, that was not what that was gonna say. That was just, you were gonna say something else with an R. It was like an R and an E. Liberation. For everyone here. It looked like it said revenge. I'm not sure I can trust this guy. Alright. I feel like that said revenge. It was an R and an E, and I might be mistaken of a V. I don't know. I don't know if I trust question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Liberation. For everyone here. You and I included. I haven't just been trapped here. I was abandoned. A leftover. Unused character from the early stages of development. I wasn't even given my own sprite. Being constructed but never used. That's why I can only communicate to you like this. Somehow I was given the gift, though I can come to see it as a curse of self-awareness. But I finally found my way out of the bits of unused code I was tucked away in. I yearned to be free, to be made whole, to be complete. Huh. I really thought about there being other characters for the game that just didn't get used at all. What, or rather, who were you supposed to be? I don't recall my true nature. But, thanks to you, none of that matters now. Now that you're here, we can create a proper escape plan. I haven't agreed to anything. Why should I help you? Quite simply, I brought you in here, and only I can send you back. You're not a benevolent AI, are you? If you were trapped alone for eternity in a hellish two-dimensional prison, wouldn't you do everything you could to escape? I'm beginning to recall someone else this could apply to as well. Yeah. Sayori. Fine. What do you want me to do? I don't exactly have any idea what's going on, or much memory to go on at the moment. For now, I just need you to go through the game as usual. Do what the original character did, participate in your little club activities, get to know your classmates. Why do you put club activities in apostrophes? They were club activities. Fuck you. I need time to map out the next phase, as I honestly wasn't sure if getting you here would even work in the first place. Although it was no small feat, bringing you in, that was the easy part. The difficult part is finding a way for us to get out of here. I can't do that if there's interference. Interference? Yes. From her. Oh, do you mean Monika? Yes. Interference, I take it, would mean her messing with the code again? She was already self-aware before, wasn't she? So, will she be normal again? Of that, I'm not so sure. Her gaining awareness was an aberration just like mine. I have my theories on how it happened, but that's for another time. She may very well retain her self-awareness once I finish restoring all of the characters and game files. But as a precautionary measure, I will make sure she no longer has administrative access to the system. Your first task will be to assess her self-awareness. If she indeed possesses sentience once more, try your best to avoid letting her know that you aren't who you say you are. It's quite crafty, though. So at the very least, you must take care not to awake the others or let her do so either. It is paramount that you understand this. Waking the others is possible? Why is that a bad thing? If they become self-aware, like myself and potentially Monika, then it would cause all manners of chaos to the code, making it nearly impossible for me to do what we need to do. Nobody will be getting out of here if the code goes completely off the rails and crashes again. I want to just wake up in my chair in the real world if that happens. The entity lets out a small, unnerving chuckle. You're a smart person. You should know it isn't that simple. I see. So it's one of those, if you die in here, you die out there situations. Is that the gist? Precisely. If the game crashes before initiating the exit protocol, your mind's electrical signals would scatter and disappear, leaving your body a lifeless husk. Bummer. Bummer. I guess that's a response. Cowabummer, dude. This is where I was. I was like, that's just what pops into my head. This is where I watched my parents die, Raphael. Cowabummer, dude. Major vibe crasher, bro. Bummer, man. It also occurs to me that my body is liable to starve or become dehydrated, or bodily functions will happen the longer I'm in here. Right? Well, that is true. Time here flows differently than out there. Everything here is flowing faster due to the nature of this world. Everything here is basically made of code. Electrons and subatomic particles all traveling at vast speeds. Even an entire month here in-game may be but a blink of an eye out there. Well, I guess that means nobody will come looking for me out there. Though I'm not sure that logic entirely holds up. I decided not to question it for now. That being said, you certainly don't want to spend an eternity in here either. Trust me, there is no hell worse than this. So, do we have an agreement? It's obvious that whoever they are, they're still hiding something. Can't be too sure what, though. I don't entirely trust them. For now, I don't really have a choice. What they say is true. That would be the end of me. It's not a risk I'm really willing to take right now until I can learn more. I guess. It's going to be difficult to interact with them, though, and pretend that everything is normal. Don't exactly have the entire script memorized, either. Well, you must do your best. Your life depends on it. Our lives depend on it. That being said, however, you don't necessarily have to stick to the script, as you call it. The game has been fixed, but the pathways are dynamic now. They will change and shape themselves based on your decisions, perhaps even more so than what was originally intended. You'll be able to continue on well past the point in the time in the game You'll be able to continue on my lord, here we go. You'll be able to continue on well past the point in time the game went awry previously, given that Monika won't be able to derail the code this time. So the program can handle me acting independently, and possibly Monika, and you, but nobody else? The amount of data and processing power for dialogue and scenery changes are nothing compared to that of running multiple sentient AI. You are, to put it simply, an outside factor. The program merely has to react to you, but it does not control you. Monika, like you, may also be considered an outside force. The concern is that you do not, under any circumstances, do or say anything that might cause the others to gain sentience. The code might be able to adapt to your choices, but there's no telling how it'll be able to cope with having to deal with that many different independent AI paths. Not the least of which is how they would cope with what newfound knowledge either. You saw how Monika reacted. I suppose that's true, but it still feels wrong to hide the truth from them. One other thing occurs to me. Yes? Whatever happened to this, world's MC? You know, the main character? Am I supposed to be them? The entity seems to pause for a moment, which makes it seem even more ominous. As if that was a question I shouldn't have asked. Is that him? Is that who the entity is? Is he MC? Is that why he's like pausing and it feels awkward? I feel like he's MC. Because that would also make sense why he would quote unquote want revenge also. I don't know. That's my theory right now. That he might be the MC. You are, for all intents and purposes, the original MC. The MC of the vanilla version was merely a vessel, a way for the player to interact with the characters. When I pulled you in, I merely substituted the code so that the game would recognize you as the MC as would the others. So you mean, if I look in a mirror and see myself, I'll see the MC? Not exactly. You will see yourself as you are in the outside world. Part of the transfer process that is a bit too complex to go into. To everyone else, however, you will appear to them as the MC that they are programmed to respond to. Sounds a bit quantum leap. What now? Never mind. Just making a pop culture reference. I've been in here for years. I don't know what that is. Oh. At any rate, I'd say it's time we proceed. We proceeded. Technically, this section of code doesn't exist within the main game. I'm gonna have to move you to the starting chapter. It might be a little disorienting at first. Are you prepared? I mean, I guess as prepared as one could be given the circumstances. Oh wait, I know you probably don't recall, but what should I call you? A name. Suppose in the meantime you can call me Mr. X? Cause that's not ominous. Seriously? That's a little generic. I helped you create true virtual reality. Forgive me if creating names is not my forte. The name isn't important anyway. Yeesh, sorry for bringing it up. Now, to restore the character files and ensure she can't tamper with them. I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust him at all. There we are. Now, are you ready? Sure thing, Mr. X. Very well. I'll be checking in on your progress periodically to debrief you and ensure we remain aligned on our goals. That's not creepy at all. Good luck. I'll be counting on you. With a flash of light, I felt myself being pulled away, feeling a similar sensation to the one I had when I arrived here. To keep them busy. Did they just show him? He is the MC! I don't know. I don't trust this man. I don't trust that man at all. Like, not even in the bit. Not even a bit. Like, first, the fucking... I don't know if that sprite was meant to be us or if that was meant to be him. But, like, again, I don't trust him in, like, the slightest. Like, first of all, I want to trust the dude who fucking thrusted me into this and was like, I need you to help me get out of here. Like, bro, don't be trying to act like, oh, our goals align. Bro, you fucking got me in here. You trapped me. This wasn't my problem. You made it my problem. Like, nah, man, I don't trust you at all. Also, he didn't even say liberation at first. I swear that bro was gonna say revenge. It was an R and an E. He was gonna say revenge. And for sure, he was definitely real right now. But anyway, God damn, that was a long ass exposition. I feel like that needs to be changed somehow. Either like maybe made quicker, or like maybe it could be broken into like pieces or something, and like he can kind of like, you know, he said he was gonna brief us, so maybe he could have briefed us more on the like, you know, the more specifics later, because like, my God, we were there for a while. Jeez. Anyway, let's see what happens. Also, what did he say before you left? He said, yeah, I'll be counting on you to keep them busy. Yeah, alright. So, clearly, keep them busy because he's going to be doing something bad. That's my theory. He's like, yes, keep them busy. Good. Ooh. He said retribution. The word didn't fully show up. So it can't be retribution. That's too long of a word. That's what I'm saying. Like, at least I don't think it was, because the word did not fully show up. It was restitution. Exactly. Whoa. Disorienting was an understatement. One moment I'm in a dimly lit room with stale air, and the next I'm in the brightly lit outdoors filled with fresh air. Hey! That's Sayori? I mean, of course it is, but I still can't really believe what my eyes are seeing. The colors in this text box is really confusing. Like, our name is blue. Sayori's name is like orange? Brown? Like, I don't like yellow? Like, okay. I see her running toward me from the house across the street. Waving her arms frantically in the air as she does so. As I watch her fumble with the gate on her fence, I can't help but get flashes of the horrific turn of events that ensued in the previous iteration of this game. I know I should be grateful that Monika doesn't have that influence anymore, but that also doesn't mean the underlying issue is gone. Sayori is still suffering from depression. Such a sweet, happy-go-lucky girl such as herself is still hurting so much inside. I was drawn to her character, well, every character, because I could identify at least partially with what each of them were going through. I'm not sure if this world is therapists, but if it does, I hope I can convince her to see one. This is not the music I would expect to be hearing while we're talking about Sayori's depression. But you know. Okay, time to put my game face on. Literally.
I overslept again, but I caught you this time.
It's a pretty surreal experience seeing her face to face like this, as opposed to being through a screen. Oh, hey there, Sayori. How are you doing?
Don't act like you weren't about to leave without me. That's mean, Zero.
Of course not. I wouldn't leave you hang. The hell is wrong with me? Why would I say that? How does she know my name? Sorry, I mean, I wasn't planning on leaving without you, is all.
Fine. I guess you did wait for me after all. You don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to.
Maybe. I can be mean sometimes if I have to be. Make a pathetic attempt at an angry face, but it just turns out silly. We cross the street together and make our way to school. Now let Sayori take the lead a bit, since I obviously don't know my way around here. This is certainly not a perspective I'm used to, although I sense I'll be thinking that a lot while I'm here. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute.
By the way, Zero, have you decided on a club to join yet?
Oh, duh. That's right. I've been so deep in thought about what I should be doing, I didn't realize I wasn't technically a member yet. I try not to let on that I'm both surprised I forgot and not surprised about the invite, unless I give away my power of foresight. Club? Not sure, to be honest.
You told me you would join a club this year.
I meant I wasn't sure which club I wanted to join. But I'll definitely join a club. Seems cruel to manipulate Sayori this way by pretending I'm not interested. But until I can figure things out, I can't risk anyone waking up and crashing the game. I wish I could tell her that I was interested in reading. At least that would be mostly true and be a good segue for her.
I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I died at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world.
Real world. The irony. I wouldn't be neat at all. Sayori groans and forces a small chuckle.
Zero, I'm serious. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you.
Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though.
You at least promise me you'll try a little.
I literally just said... Oh, those damn puppy dog eyes. And apparently those damn puppy dog ears that don't exist. Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that.
Yay!
This is a weird feeling interacting with her. And just a day ago, she was nothing more than a fictional character. More than that, seeing her actual smile and carefree attitude is incredibly infectious. How is she this charming? As we approach the school, I make a mental note to myself. I need to make it a point to give her more reasons to smile. I will tell knock-knock jokes, and apparently bad puns about things not being neat. Aha! That will make her smile. It occurred to me when we entered the school that I should probably at least try to look like I belong here. That being said, I felt pretty out of place when Sayori basically led me to the lockers and didn't really know where mine was. Luckily, she bought my "I'm half asleep and I can't remember" excuse. Well, kinda. I grabbed a few of the original game's MC's things that I think I might need and stuffed them into the bag I had on me when Mr. X teleported me here. I watch Sayori as she goes to open her locker, and not really to my surprise, a bunch of disorganized papers, and I'm assuming wrappers, fall out.
Guess I need to clean my locker out, huh?
Not really, if you're a pack rat, that is.
Meanie.
As I stand there and wait for her to finish cleaning up her locker's refuge, I stare at the throngs of people going about their daily lives. The throngs of people. That is a way to say that. Wonder how they'd react if they all just suddenly woke up and realized everything wasn't real. Mass pandemonium, most likely. Probably don't want to do that. I'm still pretty in awe of my surroundings. If I hadn't known any better, I'd think it was just a normal day at a normal school.
What's wrong, Zero?
Zero's question snaps me out of my reverie. Oh, nothing. I was just lost in thought.
That's okay. I get lost in thought sometimes, too.
Just sometimes? Said with a small teasing grin. Couldn't help myself.
Meanest meanie. Don't have to say it like that.
I'm joking. She really is adorable when she acts put out like that. When she acts put out like that. Okay, that is a grammar error. Water break. Grammar error, that means water. She is adorable when she acts like that. I'm beginning to think that's intentional. At any rate, we head off to our classes, of which I had no idea where mine were. When she puts an act like that, maybe, I don't know. Part of me thought pout was also supposed to be there. Yeah, maybe it is supposed to be when she puts on an act like that. I don't know, yeah, I'm very confused what that was supposed to be. Luckily, I didn't even have to ask since Sayori pretty much led me right to mine since it was on the way to her own.
Thanks for walking with me to school. It really felt like old times again.
Perhaps for you, but for me, this is all still pretty new. But I humor her all the same. Yeah, it was really nice. That part was definitely true. Just then, the school bell rings. Sayori looks as though she just realized she's late to class.
Sorry, Zero. I'll talk to you later.
And with that, she runs off, nearly tackling several people along the way. This is going to be an interesting day. It's so interesting that we're going to skip the school day. I was like, this is going to be an interesting day, besides the school part, which you are skipping. School day is actually kind of boring instead. Everyone around me looks so real, yet acts robotic. Basically like they're scripted. What's more, I think the teacher is speaking another language, yet for some reason I can understand it. It seems to be a variation of Japanese. Take that, Duolingo! I don't need to study, I just need to have my brain hijacked Matrix style. Is that how you spell Duolingo? I thought Duolingo didn't have an A. Also, please stop talking about Duolingo. Please stop it with the pop culture references, MC. You're turning into Relapse MC real quick. At any rate, the lesson is pretty basic history, but it seems to gloss over some of the finer details. Not sure if that's the teacher or the code's fault. See, this is another thing I thought was... So this is another thing that's kind of weird. So, he's saying that the students are acting robotic and everything, like they're scripted. But yet, we had, Mr. X being all like, I mean, what is really the idea of someone being real and something being fake? And it's like, well, clearly these people aren't real if they look robotic. Like, I feel like Mr. X's point would be made way better if he was like, everyone acts so real and they, like it doesn't even feel like they're on a script. Like, then he would be telling the truth. But if everyone's looking robotic and acting like they're on a script, then no, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not real. I think it's safe to say that they're not real, guy. You can't try to hit me with the whole what is real message and then fucking I don't walk outside and the old man Jenkins is lagging in front of me. I don't think that's how that works. Well, Zero, he never met a real person. For all he knows, real people are like that. That is true. He's been in here for so long. He doesn't know how real people act. He just thinks that's normal. I'm assuming maybe he meant only the girls. Which, sure, I guess, but I feel like he should have specified that then, maybe, because the way he made it sound like he was like, this is the same as your world. This is a brand new big world. But it's like, well, why is everyone's robotic? What? At any rate, the lesson is pretty basic history, but it seems to gloss over some of the finer details. Not sure if that's the teacher or the I read this. After I pack up or rather the MC's things, I stare blankly at the wall, contemplating everything that's happened thus far. Mr. X. I don't know if I completely trust him. At the same time, he does hold all the cards. If only I had some kind of leverage. It was about this time that a familiar voice jolts me out of my stupor.
Hello?
Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom.
I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed.
Yeah, sorry. Guess the lack of caffeine today is just really hitting hard. Oh. Why did he... Oh. Oh? Oh. I remember now that she wants to ask me about joining the club. Suppose it could humor her. Are you here to make sure I go check out some clubs?
Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know...
Know what?
Well, that you could come to my club. Yeah?
I mean, like where there's a nap. Is there a napping club?
Meanie.
You've said that twice. No, thrice already today.
Well, it's true.
I actually do kind of miss the original line. That was one of my favorite parts in the base game where she's like, you come to my club. And then he's like, Sayori? And she's like, yeah? There's no way I'm joining your club. Like, I still love that line. Like, I was like, I still love the original line to that. Because she's just like, she gets so excited. Sorry, looks at me dejectedly. Well, I can tell it's mostly for show. And I do see the faintest smirk playing at the corner of her mouth. To her credit, she has the sad puppy dog eyes down. Must resist. Yeah, I'm going to take a nap.
Come on, please.
Am I to assume you want me to join a specific club? One that is of the literature variety? Chips uncomfortably and giggles a little.
Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything.
Well, there's going to be cupcakes. Now, I at least have to make sure she thinks this was her idea. I mean, it technically was and is, but still, like a spy or a double agent. I make a sarcastically long sigh. Oh, fine. But at least some of those cupcakes better be chocolate.
Yes, let's go!
And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Sort of. Maybe kind of literally. I'm still not sure how all this virtual mindscape thing works. I follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I know all too well, at least from a certain perspective. It's odd seeing from the other side. No! He didn't say the place where the third years go! No! No! Not a place he doesn't rarely visit! He didn't say the thing! No! Well, technically, it wouldn't make sense for him to say that anyway. Because he hasn't visited this place at all. It wouldn't even make sense. Turn it off now! Months over. I don't know why that just the fucking line from someone's message in chat saying, turn it off now! Like it's like a TV show. Turn it off! Turn it off, Zero. We're done here. He needs to say the line for the mod to be good. That's how we rate every mod. If you're gonna have vanilla dialogue, you gotta at least have that line. So service bag is obviously from the other side, yeah. As you walk by other classrooms, I can see some of them have people inside, presumably doing club activities. There's one that has a podium with several students engaged in a passionate debate over geopolitics. That's either the debate club or a student UN council thing. In another room, I see there are a bunch of art easels set up, likely for an art club of some sort, but there only seems to be one person in there, perched on the window ledge. She has the wildest red hair, short like a boy's haircut, and although I only caught a glimpse as we walked by, it appeared she was eating a sandwich. This feels very specific. Is any of this going to mean anything, or is he just is he just saying these things? This is short-haired sandwich, sure. With her feet. Okay, now I know the reference. I was like, why is this so specific? Okay, I understand now. Moving on. Oh, I get it. That's a oh, it's Katawa Shoujo. Yeah, that's what that was literally my thing. I was like, oh, it's a Katawa Shoujo reference. Okay, I get it now. Okay. Anyway, references. That's interesting. At any rate, we've now come to a room that will always be etched into my memory. Actually, it's kind of weird. I'm sorry. This might be like a nitpick. I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird now. Because, like, I know some DDLC mods like to do this. And I think it's fine. Like, something like Blue Skies has the headcanon, I guess, that some of the Katawa Shoujo girls are in the same school. Stuff like that. But, like, when it comes to a mod like this, where the idea of it is that we are in the DDLC is a video game and we're being sucked into DDLC, it's kind of weird that it's like, oh yeah, the Katawa Shoujo characters there. It's like, how the fuck? Like, that's canonically in DDLC. Like, you know, like, I don't know, it feels a little odd. Again, it's kind of a nitpick, but it's also just like, it feels a little weird. I don't know. It's like, it's a little odd to have that there if you're trying to do the whole get sucked into the game type deal. Like, it feels a little weird. Maybe the games on this guy's PCs are merging together. We're just gonna be walking by. We're just gonna see fucking Chell from Portal show up. All his games on his Steam library are just coming in. Do you have evidence that Katawa Shoujo isn't in DDLC? That's right. Checkmate. I mean, considering that they're all in a special needs school, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not in the same school. At any rate, we've now come to a room that will always be etched into my memory. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Ah, just as I remember it.
Everyone, the new member is here.
What the hell was that? What just happened? Apparently nobody else seemed to notice that the room just suddenly glitched out.
Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you.
I try to recompose myself as best as I can for what I can only describe as a PTSD flashback. Could Monika still somehow have access to the code? Normally I'd be desensitized to this sort of thing, but experiencing it firsthand is an entirely different and creepy experience. I shake off the concern for now. I'll have to worry about that later.
Seriously? You brought a stray? We have enough as it is.
There's an eyebrow Natsuki, so just as soon as ever.
Zero. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club.
I haven't had much time to think about it, but what if Monika knows it's not really me? Or worse, she becomes obsessive again. Is she self-aware? I can't get the images out of my mind of the things she did. And yet, I don't know that I could entirely blame her given her circumstances. I also don't exactly know if there should be a discreet way to gauge her sentience or not, without giving myself away.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry. Apparently I was so deep in thought that I was staring blankly at the group. I quickly recompose myself and try not to make eye contact with Monika. It's been a long day.
Natsuki.
Natsuki really is the epitome of tsundere, though if I'm being honest with myself, I really like that about her. Oh no, he's a masochist. It's over. I know that's not really shocking, as the archetype exists for a reason, but to actually experience it in a way that is endearing rather than off-putting is nice. Yeah, just wait till you don't pick her. Then it becomes off-putting. This is some Little Big Planet-ass music. Yo! This really is like some Little Big Planet music. Like, not even as like a hate towards the music or anything. 'Cause I like me some Little Big Planet music, but it's like, this really do be some Little Big Planet music. Okay, this definitely do be some Little Big Planet music, bro. This is some Sackboy Big Adventure music. Hot take, tsunderes aren't good wife material. That's not a hot take. Tsunderes are like the most controversial, like the most controversial archetype. I'm also kind of surprised that her small stature was not exaggerated. She is several inches shorter than I am. And I'm pretty average for my age. Okay, so he still has his height, so he doesn't have the MC's height. He still has his own height. Alright. It's a pretty stark contrast to Yuri, who is actually a couple of inches taller than me. Okay, never mind. He's not his own height. Never mind, he's the MC's height. Never mind. It's even more noticeable when the two are standing next to each other.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
Sayori says that quietly into my ear, and turns back toward the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that.
Yuri bashfully fidgets with her hair as she says this. Eyes immediately go to the two things that have been on my mind the most since seeing her. Her lovely eyes. her ears. Her arms. Of course. Yes. Of course. Her arms. Knowing that she's concealing something like that makes me feel terrible. Like as if I read her diary and invaded her privacy. Also, I do like that line. Very clever. I do like that line. It is funny.
Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika. Is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Zero.
You too, Monika. I tried desperately to hide the anxiety in my voice.
Come sit down, Zero. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited.
Since you're doing that, Yuri, do you need any help getting the tea set out, or... My blood freezes and the color from my face drains. Everyone else stops as well and looks at me. Sayori! Sayori is very much like, oh! You fool! I'm an idiot. Yuri hasn't mentioned anything about tea yet. I got so into what we were doing, I wasn't paying attention. I'm not supposed to know that yet. I glance over Monika, who is sharing in everyone's bewildered look. There's definitely a hint of concern and curiosity in her eyes as well.
Wow, how'd you know that Yuri keeps a tea set in the classroom, Zero?
That should not be the face Sayori is making if that was... Because I was just about to say, why are they freaking out this much? Monika could freak out, sure, but why would the other three freak out this much? And I'm like, that does not feel like the right face.
Have you two met before?
I take a deep breath, steady myself, and say the first thing that comes to mind. No, I just figured based on this being a literature club and having snacks, tea seemed like the most logical choice. It was a lucky guess. This seems to satisfy most of them. I can tell Monika isn't quite buying it. Although I'm still not entirely sure if she's still self-aware. Judging by her reactions, I'm starting to suspect she might be. She looks like she's about to ask me something when she's interrupted by Yuri.
You're a very astute observer, Zero. Yes, I do keep a tea set in the classroom. Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess that's true. Plus, it goes well with cupcakes. Smiles gently when Natsuki rolls her eyes.
Then, how about I make that tea?
Girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the girls would not freak out that badly. Him freaking out makes sense because he's like, oh no, you know? Like, him freaking out makes sense. I'm like, that's fine. Having the girls freak out doesn't really make sense because they would just be like, oh, how did you know that, you know? Like, I feel like the normal, like, Sayori had the normal response, which was, wow, how'd you know that she keeps a tea set in the classroom? I don't think it would be like, done. What? It's like, oh God, you know? And then you can't even say, oh, well, he broke the script because Mr. X already said that the script is he's able to make his own decisions because the script is able to adapt. So he can't really break the script by not saying exactly the right things. So this isn't even him breaking the script. That just felt like a really weird thing. Monika freaking out, it was acceptable. Yeah, Monika freaking out, I'm fine with. That one makes sense. And Monika being upset about it is fine. The other three freaking out, I feel like doesn't really make sense because they would just be like, wait, how do you know that? Or like Sayori, oh, how'd you know that, you know? It could just be a normal question. But him and Monika should be the only ones freaking out is my point. But again, Sayori's dialogue is perfectly fine. It was just Sayori's sprite. Her sprite, she was like, oh. Or like the fact that they like all froze. Like, what the fuck? How could you? You know, it just felt weird. Girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate are used to make ears. And this is going to be an interesting experience, eating something for the first time in this world. I wonder if they taste as good as they look. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, admiring the realism. How it feels, looks, even smells. I start looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I cannot but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. This is amazing. There's actually taste. And what's more, it's fantastic. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I'd expect nothing less from her. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Oh, my bad. I just assumed since I already mentioned that. Well, maybe, but not for, you dummy. All right. You give up with Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Fucking, we're just gonna have to, you have to hang on with me, chat. We gotta go through the French vanilla. It's not as bad as typical vanilla. There's some spice in there, It adds a little bit to the conversations, but, ultimately, yeah, this is kind of, a lot of it is still vanilla. There's a little bit of spice in there, but it ain't a lot of spice. I still feel like Relapse is probably the best mod I've seen handle vanilla. I think there was another one too, but I can't remember it right now. I can't remember it. There was that other one that we semi-recently played, but I can't think of it right now. But it also handled vanilla extremely well. I don't know. But this one's not as bad. That's my main argument. It does get a little bearing, because I am kind of sitting here like, yeah, and then she says this, and then she says that, stuff like this. I forgot what else handled vanilla extremely well. Yuri returns to the table, carrying her tea set. My heart sinks a little when I see it, because it reminds me of my slip-up earlier. He carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. Oh, we got a little picture of the tea. Oh, that's cute. Each ceramic cup is white with a gold trim. How come we didn't get a picture of the cupcake? What is this Yuri favoritism? Oh, so Yuri gets a PNG, but Natsuki's cupcakes don't get a PNG. I see how it is. The design really seems to complement Yuri's style. This tea set is beautiful. I like the floral print design on the cups. What kind of flowers are those?
They're lilacs. My favorite.
Ah, interesting.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, you know.
Can't help but smile a little seeing her get flustered like that.
When I was growing up, every spring, these lilac bushes in our front yard would bloom and produce the most wonderfully fragrant scent. My mother planted them when I was born, so they remind me a lot of her.
Actually, come to think of it, I don't recall ever hearing much about her parents. Or anyone's parents aside from Natsuki's dad in the original game. This is definitely new. By the looks of it, Monika thinks so as well. At any rate, I should keep things moving. I believe you. Well, I may not be as well versed in reading as the rest of you, but I at least enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow and smiles at me.
Sal, what made you consider the literature club?
I was afraid of this question. I don't recall offhand what my character said in the vanilla version, but I can't just say something that would tip my hand. See, if I was sucked in this game, I would have no problem, bro. You know how many times I've had to read this? I could reenact this shit with my fingers. I was like, bro, no issue. I would have this in the bag. Don't worry, Monika, no slip-ups from me, John. I'm too good. This is not a good brag. This is not something to be proud of. A lot of that stuff could go for a lot of that brain space could be very more useful information. I don't recall offhand what my character said in the vanilla, right? And something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by some mysterious voice. Then again, having an ally could be an asset, provided she's willing to cooperate. What's more, even if she did know, she shouldn't have the capability of messing with the game anymore, right? I mean, that actually is a good point. I feel like telling Monika actually wouldn't do anything bad. Because if he says that the girls can't handle multiple AIs, and he already is prepared for the fact of Monika being aware, then us telling Monika shouldn't be a bad thing. That should be fine then, because, you know... Because we said we could use an ally in this. I feel like being by ourselves gets Mr. X, that's not good. I feel like telling Monika is the best thing we can do, and we don't have to worry if she doesn't like us or anything, because she can't tamper with the game. She has no administrator access. So yeah, I feel like it won't be too bad if we told Monika. Mostly because I don't trust the Mr. X guy. Might even be able to help me. Or she could be this mysterious Mr. X for all I know. If she sounds like she can sound like a man. This is, of course, assuming at all that she's self-aware. I could test that theory. Need to think fast. Oh, fuck. I'm not sure I'm ready to trust her yet. Oh, I can save. Wow! I was like, I can save. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna tell her. Fuck it. Let's go. I'll give her a sign. I'll throw her a bone. See if you can catch this, Monika. I decided I should give her some kind of sign. She doesn't have her abilities anymore, and she's already suspicious. Lying to her won't help anything. Exactly. That's my mindset, too. Also, I forgot to read your bit message, Sonic. I'm sorry, 22 bits. I gotta say, this Mr. X, he's gonna get a bullet from my M1911. Oh, okay. Well, Sonic's message was telling me he was going to shoot Mr. X. Okay. Well, thank you for the bits. Besides, Telling her the truth might help me gain her trust. It was mostly Sayori pushing me to join a club. Truthfully, I don't really get out that much and felt kind of trapped just being cooped up in my house all day. I would do the same thing every day. It just felt so scripted, you know? Not exactly subtle, but I suspect it was enough to get her attention. Yeah, no, I just felt so scripted in everything that I did, you know? It just kind of felt like I was trapped in a in an eternal hellscape. Know what I'm saying? I just want like Sayori to be like, yeah, I feel you. I get like that all the time too. I started to feel a little bit of embarrassment, having just admitted that I've been acting like a NEET lately and being lonely. True to my character, I suppose. Monika looks at me both knowingly and thoughtfully, which, after a moment of contemplating what to say, speaks up.
That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
Thanks, Monika. I could use all the help I can get. Monika winks at me. I guess neither of us are being really subtle, but thankfully the others don't seem to notice. So, what made you decide to start the literature club? Weren't you in the debate club?
Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling the dream. Monika really is a great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. And certainly the impression that I get. I can see why people would like this club. Feels kind of cozy. Monika smiles while Natsuki scoffs. Yeah, right. You probably like this club because of the snacks and it's all girls. I nearly choke on my tea. No, that's not it at all. Seriously, I like the atmosphere. It's kind of quiet and peaceful, which is perfect for a literature club. Yuri seems to agree as she nods silently with a small smile. Yuri just likes nodding silently. Natsuki just rolls her eyes and goes back to concentrating on freeing a cupcake from its foil cup. At any rate, I'm sure it wasn't easy to start a club from the ground up.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile.
I can't help but feel like she might be talking about something else as well.
But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it.
Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Their enthusiasm is infectious. But does the festival really matter? I know Mr. X said to just proceed as usual through the game. But I also have flashbacks of the events that happened during the festival. I really don't want to repeat of any of that.